Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex. Happy Gobble Gobble Day, and today we're talking about all of the Black Friday sales, deals, changes in the game, and I'm going to give you my pretty expert advice on how you should spend your money and or how you should spend your crystals. But there are a couple of things that we need to do a bit of fact checking, because there is a bit of drama with the changes. There have been some changes made to the sale, and a lot of people, myself included, have been crying foul. But I'm here to say, thankfully, we're wrong. And for once, Netmarble's right. The big one that I've been seeing a lot of and that I want to cover because I was wrong on Twitch and I said so, is the 1+2 crystal. I've made a huge deal about this every single year. Everybody, save up your money for Black Friday. 1+2 crystals is going to be a slam dunk. And then this year they changed it, and it's no longer 1+2. It's just 1 plus a larger bonus. So rather than getting 15 or 550, you get plus 1, which is 1100. You get a bonus. And now this has left people confused because they have been led to believe, or they think that there are crystals missing, and that the old sales were better, but they're not. It's weird. I don't know if it's a Mandela effect kind of thing, but I went back to my old videos, and you're welcome to do so. I watched both the first year Black Friday and the second year Black Friday sales, and the crystal amounts were lower. Now, there may be a difference in terms of the actual prices of the packages, but that is due to inflation, and that is due to the Google Store and the Apple Store making countries line up more evenly, because people were kind of circumventing that by purchasing things in different currencies using different countries and then having it transfer over, and they don't have to pay the currency exchange because one currency is stronger than another. But I did compare the sales, and at this amount, with the old 1+2 crystals, you were only getting 4,600 or 4,950 crystals, I swear. And now you're getting over 5,000. So they weren't lying. I had to fact check it. I had to make sure, as far as, unless someone went back and changed my videos, and I sure as hell didn't do it. My voice is still weird as fuck. Yeah, we are actually getting more crystals now. And on top of getting more crystals, we're getting loyalty points. So yeah, these crystal deals are even better than they once were. But let's now rewind a little bit. One more piece of news that I have to give you guys before we get started on what you're actually looking for to either get or to dodge. I want to talk about the comic card chest and the custom gear chest. Do not purchase either of these right now. They will be going on sale in approximately 3 or 4 days. And the image right here is from Mobirum. They're going to have a 40% off sale, so it's only going to be 405 crystals for both chests. Now, some people are immediately going to put on their tinfoil hats and say, but they're going to mess with the drop rates. Yeah, maybe, but you'll still get a lot more. You'll purchase as many packs, and you'll get as many resources in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-star cards, even if you don't get any premium ones, and you'll get just as many 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-star obelisks, but you'll pay less crystals. So there's literally no advantage to purchasing it now unless you're extremely paranoid, and then just stop it. And yeah, so I just wanted to throw that out as a warning to you guys. Please hold on to your crystals if you're looking to purchase this one or looking to purchase this one. I also anticipate that they're going to be changing the chance increased cards and obelisks that are available here advertised on the left. I imagine that for the Cyber Monday sale, they're going to have all 4 obelisks as an increased drop, again, to encourage people to gamble them. And they're also going to have more of the kind of most coveted comic cards, premium comic cards available. So with that being said, we now move on to the really important stuff: what to get, what to avoid. And going through last year's Black Friday video, going through the one before that, also going through some of your comments on Twitch and Twitter. I appreciate you guys not only asking me to do this video, but also giving me suggestions. I wanted to approach this one a little bit differently. I think in the past I focused too much on things that just don't seem very relevant to as many players as I may have thought they did. So I'm going to, of course, start off, as I always do, by telling you what you should not purchase. And this is just pretty easy. But yeah, you should basically duck this sale, You should duck this sale unless you really need the Mega Uniform ticket. It's nice to get extra tokens, but there's literally nothing else added to this, but you may want to get it for Luna Snow if you don't already have one, because she's a paywall character, and so it's extremely difficult to rank up her uniform. You want to duck this one. You also want to duck this one. Definitely duck these 3 here, all the X-Men ones. You should also duck these ones. Now, in the past, I have said that the offer for Agents number 2 is the best, but with the new limited edition crystal sales that we were talking about a minute ago, with the bonus crystals, these are automatically much worse. They do give you 30 Black Friday tokens, but upon further analysis, I am less impressed by the Black Friday token event and the Black Friday kind of token trade-in event shop. There are also the packs that have been discounted by 50%, which seems like a really sexy number, and you do get 10 tokens. They're still garbage, so just duck them, miss that shit, and yeah, save your money for the good stuff. A couple of interesting things to point out. In addition to all of the other items that are available in the Black Friday shop where you exchange your tokens, they've added a Titan selector for 200 tokens, which I equate this to about $200 spent, so that's pretty insane. One book for $200. Keep in mind they sell in the Shield Lab. You can purchase them. I've purchased 2. You can get them in the mission shop as random drops, and they only sell for 1,250 crystals. Yeah, which is like half of a Stark stash. So in 2 weeks, for $2.50, you can get one of these, as long as you can, you know, manipulate the shop and purchase enough of the stuff to get it to 100%, and then get lucky enough. There's some RNG involved, I understand, but if you think about it that way, in terms of spending a couple of dollars in a couple of weeks versus what they want, which is 200 Black Friday tokens, it's insane. This is also really insane. It seems nice. It's 150 frags, but there's even a better deal for frags, so you kind of ignore this one, which leaves us with just 2 things. And this is kind of the disappointing side of the video. I'm leaving the good stuff for the end, don't worry. The Tier 2 Mega Advancement ticket has lost value. I can't believe I'm saying this, but they've offered it so many times recently in different sales, and they had the discounted one for like 4,400 crystals where you got half of them back if enough people purchased the Mega Tier 2 ticket, and it's just not as valuable as it once was. It's easier now to get them, and so it's easier to mega rank up, mega tier 2 these characters. Also, the burden of the ultimates is a lot less heavy than it used to be. So many tier 3s and so many level 70s are just outpacing and outshining the ultimates that, unless you're doing it specifically for ABX, you don't even need these characters for PvP anymore. So unless you're doing it for ABX specifically for him, there's almost no reason to unless you're just in love with these characters, I mean. But from a standpoint of view of completing all the content and competing at a high level in every game mode, you don't need Blue Marvel. I never use him. You don't need Nova. I never use him. I only ever use Ant-Man. And so needing only one of those characters in the first place, you'd be using it on X-23, who's the other, you know, big Shield Lab processor character. You're not going to be using it on Nightcrawler, Get Real. The only other characters you'd be using it on are the premium characters, the paywall, and the X-Gene characters like Gambit. But again, if you're going to be paying for an X-Gene sub, or you're going to be paying for a Bio sub, are you really going to spend $400 today on Black Friday just to get one of these tickets? The more I think about it, the more it makes sense that this is just not as valuable as it once was, especially for this amount. And so it leaves the 100 million gold. 100 million gold is still amazing. It's hard for me to recommend it to you guys because I have 126 million gold right now, but it is still a pretty decent deal. But with all of that being said, I don't really have any way or any kind of encouragement to try to suggest to any of you to try to save up Black Friday tokens. Yeah, I know it doesn't sound fun, but I don't recommend that you try to get lots of Black Friday tokens. I'm just going to analyze the few packs that I think are worthwhile and why they're worthwhile, and I'm kind of just going to ignore the Black Friday tokens because, yeah, I just explained why it's not very worth it. So the biggie, I think, for the majority of players, because it's open to free-to-plays, and for those of you that have been saving diligently your Stark stashes and stuff like that, the Black Friday Celebration Pack was amazing last year, and it's pretty much exactly the same as it is this year. Still amazing. For 8,000 crystals, you get everything you need to immediately get a character from 1 star to tier 2 maxed gears. You get some boost points, you get some gold, just got everything you could possibly want. So I still think it's a pretty good deal. The 80 tokens aren't going to get you anything by itself other than the Fully Awakened ISO 8, so that's what I would recommend getting. Fully Awakened ISO 8s are a lot harder to make nowadays because they nerfed the World Boss Thanos and Apocalypse ISO 8 drops, and they don't drop anymore from World Boss Ultimate, and so it's a lot harder to get Fully Awakened ISOs. So that is what I think of that particular purchase. As far as the uniform relay packs, I think these have been discounted in terms of the crystal cost, but they're still not worthwhile. I think if you're going to spend this many crystals, you're much better off just spending $50 and getting the Mega Mythic uniform ticket. And the reason why I suggest that is because, sorry, lots of scrolling. The reason why I suggest getting this Mega Uni ticket instead of getting those relays is because most of the best uniforms now are the kind of tier 2 uniforms that cost 1,750 crystals divided by 40% or 50% now, and then they end up either costing 1,050 crystals or 875 crystals, and those take a lot more uniform upgrade kits, and that's the majority of the difficult item to, or the difficult resource to farm, so these are just not worth it. Additionally, the Black Friday pack has come again. It's pretty similar to the one that we had last year. I don't think it is as valuable as it once was, again, for kind of the same reason that I mentioned about the Mega Tier 2 ticket. However, I will say that if you're a low spending player and you don't have a lot of the premium characters, it's a decent gamble to use $6 or $7 to get this one. You get a decent number of crystals and you get 5 cracks at pretty much any premium character. You can also get, of course, regular characters. It's not only premium characters, but there is a decent chance, 5 out of whatever, 140, that you could get someone rare up to 6 stars. So it's not bad. I think the best relay, or the best part of this relay, is number 3. For $40, you get crystals and a mega rank up ticket. But all of these sales, unfortunately, and here's the part that's kind of unsexy, all of the sales that I just talked about are all worse than just purchasing straight up crystals. So that's kind of ultimately my best piece of advice for you guys, is to just buy crystals. Buying crystals gives you the most flexibility. It's the most valuable thing because so many items in the game cost crystals. Magneto, Psylocke, Emma Frost, Adam Warlock, the Black Panther legendary battle, the other legendary battles for the extreme modes, the upcoming update. We know there's going to be at least 2 uniforms for Luna and Sharon. You're going to need at least 2,100 crystals for those. And there's going to be, you know, next year another epic quest or whatever. So even if you can bank up crystals in the thousands, in the tens of thousands, it's always going to retain its value forever. And this is something that I kind of realized and I'm trying to express with the Mega Tier 2 ticket. The value is going down. And it has been going down since the beginning of the year, and it will continue to go down. Now, are we going to be getting a Mega Tier 2 advancement ticket as a login event? Probably not. But the depreciation of the item's value is consistent, and I can see it happening. But crystals never go out of value, and they never depreciate. And especially when it comes to ongoing uniforms to upgrade or rework existing characters, that value is never going to go down, and it's always going to be there. And of course, now more than ever, with uniforms being discounted, everyone is reaching to get more crystals. And I mean, it makes sense. You can purchase $40 worth of crystals right now for 5,000, or for $40 you get 5,400 crystals, and you can buy, you know, 8 regularly priced uniforms. So $40 gets you 8 uniforms. That could transform 8 different characters. That's a pretty big deal. Or you could get fewer uniforms of the 1050 variety. You could get, you know, 5 Infinity War uniforms. Again, that's a pretty big chunk for $40 to transform 5 different characters. That's pretty decent. Again, I know it sounds crazy. It's a mobile game. You're paying to actually play the game. I get it. But that's kind of my advice. And so whether you have $10 to spend, whether you have $20 to spend, $40 to spend, $100 to spend, I think you're most likely going to benefit from purchasing something on this page. Now, I do want to warn you guys, because upon realizing this, not only on my live stream, but now again, I ask myself why. You know, the people over at Netmarble, they're trying to make a fun game, but they're also trying to make money. And so why would they make it so that you're getting the most value out of just purchasing crystals? What advantage to them would that have? And ultimately, the strongest advantage for them that I can think of is your lack of willpower, your lack of patience. And so My warning to you guys is if you do end up spending money and just buying a boatload of crystals, and then you want to end up saving them for later, don't get sucked in. Don't get peer pressured or whatever into gambling them away on CTPs or comic cards or purchasing a bunch of extra uniforms that you don't need. That is kind of my only worry in recommending that you guys buy straight up crystals, is that you could end up gambling them away. You could end up wasting them kind of frivolously on equipping CTPs off different characters and stuff like that, and then you'll end up not really getting as much value for your dollar. Whereas if I told you guys to purchase a specific pack, you would get that value immediately and it couldn't transform into something else. So if you purchased, let's say for $100, you got the Mega Tier 2 ticket and all this stuff, you have the 3,000 crystals, but those other items are never going to change. So you wouldn't be able to manipulate them and accidentally or frivolously spend them in a way that you may be unsatisfied with. So I did want to warn you guys about that, but I do think that the straight up crystal purchases are the best. The last thing I want to talk about, and the kind of the more complicated thing, is the flash sales. And we've got a flash sale on right now for Awakened ISO. I purchased it once on its first rotation, and I purchased it once again on its second rotation. Now, in total, we have, I think, 4 or 5 different limited quantity sales. So I wanted to go through all of them and give you my thoughts on their value. Now, when I say their value, what I mean to say is, how much time would it take you to get those items if you didn't pay crystals, if you're just playing the game? So the first one is 6 fully awakened ISOs plus 3 regular ISOs and then 15 Black Friday tokens. Because of my kind of lack of value in the Black Friday token exchange thing, I'm just going to ignore that. So I'm just going to pretend 3 awakened, 3 non-awakened ISOs for 1,500 crystals. This to me is a pretty good deal. I would say this is about a 7 out of 10 star deal, because 3 6-star awakened ISOs are very hard to make. It takes 21 regular ISOs to level up another ISO to 6 red stars. So that's an equivalent of 63 plus these 3. So it's 66 ISOs you're getting for the price of 1,500 crystals. Now, of course, you could open all 3 purple ISO, which is terrible because you don't need that for Power of Angry Hulk or Overdrive. But you could, and you probably will, pull some good ones. I've only pulled 1 purple out of 6. I've pulled 2 silvers, which is probably the best next to Chaotic. I've pulled a green, a blue, and a orange, and a yellow. So in total, I've pulled 4 good ones and 2 so-so ones and 1 bad one, or something like that. 3, 2, and 1. Really average results, and still saves me a lot of time. So in that sense, I think it is worthwhile. The second one, and I think the one that is going to be the most popular for most of you, is Cosmic Cube Fragments. I do want to say thumbs up to Netmarble for offering this as a deal. I think maybe they could have gone to 250, but it is still really good. This is the absolute lowest cost you will ever see, well, for now anyways, Cosmic Cube Fragments. They sell in the mission shop for like way more. It's insane. It's like 100 Cosmic Cube Fragments for 1,000 crystals. It's like half as good. So this, again, for the amount of time it takes you to farm 200 Cosmic Cube Fragments, this is a really good deal. Now, of course, you would need to buy this 4 times to tier 3 1 character, which is equal to 6,000 crystals, which is equal to about $60. But yeah, I mean, hopefully you don't need to do that, and if you do need to do that, you're a whale anyways, so it doesn't matter. Keep in mind that you won't be able to purchase this 4 times at the very same moment. As you can see in the shop, I'm limited now to just 1 purchase. It's 2 purchases per rotation, so that means you'll have to wait 4 hours for the next cycle, but it always cycles to the same one twice. So if you purchased it, just don't go to sleep in the next 4 hours, and you'll be able to purchase it again if you want to double down or quadruple down and get it 4 times. The last few here, the Enhanced Uru pack, I think is a little bit worse than the ISO 8. So if you don't like the ISO 8 pack, you're not going to like this one. The reason why I don't like this one as much is because it's 3 Mythic and 3 Legendary. Legendary is not that hard to make. Mythic is, but the Uru pool is much bigger than the ISO 8 pool. There's only 7 or 8 ISO, but there's way more Uru, and most of the Uru are bad. You really don't want, a 6-star attack speed Uru for the majority of your characters. You absolutely do not want physical or energy defense. Even things like ignore defense may not be useful to you, or dodge or HP. And so because the ones that you want is much fewer compared to the majority, and because there's a much larger pool, the chances of you getting what you want are very slim. So I don't like this one as much. I think this is a much riskier purchase. The gold for 1,000 crystals is not bad. I think I pegged the value of gold for 1,000 crystals at about 6 or 7 million in like a one-shot purchase. You can, of course, get more than 5 million gold if you invest your crystals in like gold boosters for 3 days, and you use that in conjunction with boost points, but that takes more time, so it's not the same kind of evaluation. But I still don't really think this is that good. I would give this like a 4.5, a 5-star out of 10 value. And then the two at the bottom, these are just garbage. Don't buy these. I know it's 600 is a lot. Even if you're a new player, you can farm this up in a couple days. They're giving this away every day pretty much with login events, and they're going to do Dimension Rift bosses again and again. You really do not need this, and the 10 Black Friday tokens are not going to put you much further ahead, and they're really not going to get you anything of value except maybe one fully awakened ISO for 50 Black Friday tokens. So with that being said, those are all of my thoughts on the Black Friday tokens and events. Of course, the one thing I didn't touch upon is uniforms, but you know how I feel about those. Buy as many as you can if you play the character and you enjoy them. Please take advantage of my uniform list and the tier list that I made. Compare the two when you're thinking about what uniforms to get for different characters, and maybe that will allow you to make a much more enlightened decision on which uniforms you're going to buy. If you have a list of like 10 that you want, but you can only buy 8, take a look at the list, see how many of those characters go up to A or S rank, and then just compare that list to the tier list and see how many of those characters land in the mythic tier or the legendary tier for the overall full 172 character tier list. So those are the full Black Friday sales, including the flash sales that aren't all in the store right now. Of course, we also have a limited crystal spending event, but you know how I feel about that. I mean, if you're going to get to 10,000, you're going to get to 10,000 anyways, so I kind of don't have to mention it. Let me know what you guys think of the Black Friday sales. If you want to see me gambling and you don't want to gamble yourself on your crystals, be sure that you're on Twitch on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Just be on it every day for the CTP rolling, because I will be pulling this chest quite a few times, having some fun. I might even pull the comic card chest just for shits and giggles. And yeah, also Emma Frost and Adam Warlock are on sale. I've already made videos on those characters. You can kind of guess how I feel about them. If you have any additional questions, let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe if you enjoy the content. And of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.